So, sort of along those lines, going on to polyamory. I think we know what Cynthonia's views on this are already. Polyamory, polygamy, and monogamy. What are your thoughts? And do you see one as preferable?
I think everybody personally has a preference. I'm with Tone. I don't share. I'm not sharing. But I also think mind your own business and allow other people to have their own perspectives. Like just because you don't agree with their type of relationship doesn't necessarily mean they should be judged for it because there are people in poly relationships that actually work. There are people who have open relationships that actually work. Um, I think it's preference. Mind your own business and don't judge because everybody's personal business is their own personal business at the end of the day, and it has nothing to do with you. That's my take on that.
I think some people are in poly relationships and they don't even know it.
Yo, whew.
That's what's foul. That's
And
what's
they don't
foul. That's
even
the
know it.
foul
You
part.
say that again with your chest. And no,
That's foul,
that's
and that's
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So, a lot of times, majority of the times, we think of our partner as belonging to us, right? I think that's what we were all touching on, like, oh, this is even myself. I'm not above it, right? But ultimately, people are gonna do what they want to do. My preference is for a monogamous relationship. I haven't tried anything else and I don't want to, right? But honestly speaking, I can see why people have those type of relationships because it's when it's done in the way that it's thought to be practiced properly, right? There's no lying, nobody's getting jealous, nobody's feelings are hurt, or at least that's what's expressed by people that are in these relationships. So I can see how it can be a benefit, especially in the day and age when people are off the rails. So it's hard to find somebody that is confident. I'm just talking about for the other side, right? Confident and can provide and they only want one person.
Mm.
So for me, it is monogamy, but I'm not against anything else. Do what works for you. I can't judge on that.
Can I just say some? Because a lot of people are in relationships that they think are with one person, but it's not. See, I agree with both of you guys, and that's how I originally felt. You know how I feel. One person. I need to know where anything is coming from. I need to know who I'm coming from. I need to know all of that. I need not even only that. I need somebody that I'm sharing parts of myself with that I don't plan on sharing with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hoping to get that in reciprocity. The problem is that when you have, but if you want to do it, it's not my place. And like Adriana said, things work differently for other people. But the problem is, to me, in my opinion, people like, yo, you have ego. You have so many different things, right? That a person, an individual has. So when you are in a multiple open relationship, you could be in an open relationship where everybody knows and it's an open book and there's no lying here in this circle. These 4 or 5 people that we're cycling or whatever, everybody knows. But this one person who is enjoying this life, who knows this life, who it's working here, might go over here to this woman or this guy, and now they want this person. That person is a monogamous person. They're not playing that other game. This person still wants this person. They're gonna still play this game, but now they're gonna sit here and tell this person a lie. because they want this person. Nobody in the circle knows about this person that I have on the side or whatever, but I want this person. I'm selfish. My pride says that I can do it. I've been doing it over here, and I'm not thinking so much about this person's feelings in the moment that I want what I want. And by the time I start caring too much, it's already going to be too late, and I'm going to be afraid to tell you the truth and this and that, and all the other problems are already situated.
The side piece play.
You understand what I'm saying? So to me, and that a lot of times is what I hear or get from, swinging relationships. Like I said, it's not my business. I don't prefer it. And I don't like my friends, like if I'm giving advice, I'm not rooting for it because I'm just letting you know all the things that can come with it. But you still do what you want to do.
And to your point, that also is along the same lines in a poly relationship. Like somebody close to me was in one, and in that particular relationship, uh, there's one guy, two girls, or two women, and he was under the impression that everybody was on the same page. But one woman, in my opinion, it was both, but I'll let the relationship speak for itself. But one woman was only in the polyamorous relationship because that's what he wanted, and they wanted to keep the guy around. And in that type of situation, it's just as unhealthy because you're unhappy at the end of the day, and you're putting up with something that you know you don't agree with, but you're only saying yes because you want to keep this person attached to you, as opposed to being honest and just saying make a decision. So and that's my take on multiple partners. First of all, that's a lot. Second of all, that's a whole lot of private information. There's a whole lot of private parts. There's a whole lot of you don't know this, that, and the third thing. Are you taking care of yourself? You don't know what energy you're inviting into your most sacred spaces. It's just a bit much for me. Again, I'm not going to judge, but yeah, I've seen that type of energy firsthand, and it's just too much, in my opinion. It's too much. Like, that is a lot of energy. A lot of energy.
Gabriel? Agreed, Adriana, agreed.
I really don't even got too much to say about on that because honestly, I really like I know about those relationships and stuff, but I just never paid attention to them because it's like I mean I just know what I know. And I stick to what I know. I'm not. I can't be much of a jealous type, so it's not like I'm not trying to. I can't share and I can't have more than one because it's like then it gets complicated. You like this person, then you like this person, but you don't like this person more than this person, certain aspects, and it's just like now somebody's being favored in it. That's a lot. Like Adriana said, that's a lot. That's a whole lot. Like I can barely focus on myself. Makes you think I can focus on two other people. So honestly, that's my take on it. I don't know. I mean, whoever likes to do that, they like to do it. But in a certain sense, I feel like that's also like showing kind of flaws of knowing yourself, trying to, do multiple people because it's like you have certain aspects that you don't know that you like about this person, and certain aspects you don't know that you like about this person, instead of, knowing all of you and just getting it from one specific person. You're trying to, branch out. Let me go here, let me go there. Like you're all over the place. You're not really centered. That's my take on it. But yeah.
Great point. See, you're wise at your young age. Because for me, it's like there was a moment where it was all in the spiritual community or whatever, and they're going on and on about it. And I'm just like, when they say, like, they're going, of course there's jealousy. Sorry, I'm going to sound so wrong here. Do what you want to do, first of all. Everybody do your thing. Like, I'm not judging you. If that floats your boat, do your thing. I don't care. But for me, I'm like, when you're saying there is jealousy in it, you just have to, I'm like, well, why are you doing that for? Why would you do that to yourself? I'm not going into a relationship which I know is going to create energy in me that I don't want. I don't want to have jealous feelings that I have to manage. I don't want to share no man. I don't want to share my bed. Like you said, there's a whole load of private things all getting all intermingled. No, thank you. And then, and then it is about that whole thing of what requires more courage. For me, it's courageous and strong. For my personal journey, I want that person that I grow with. I want that person that I take the time to get to know and to study and who does the same for me. And I think that if there's a man, if a man doesn't mind me going and having sexual intercourse or intimacy with another man, I got no respect for you, brethren. Not one piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should want me here to yourself. That's what I want my man to be saying. And for me, it is ownership. There is a sense of ownership. I'm not even going to pretend like, if you're my man, you are my man. I'm not about all this modern day doo-doo. That's my man. You know it, you know it, you know it. He's mine. And I'm his. I'm old school like that, nothing less. I don't want to do all this fluffy foolishness. So that's it's not fluffy foolishness for you if you're in a polygamous relationship and you're happy, like. But I think it's very clear where I stand on it. I'm not for it. And I've kind of said, I think there's a lot of stuff being promoted to us that we're supposed to accept. And I think some of this polyamory, polygamy is about sex as well, if I'm honest. It's about sex and it's about running away from real intimacy emotionally. You know, it's getting your freak off in the bedroom. And when you can't deal with this one here, you just go over to that one over there. You know, how many of these relationships are actually a woman with 5 men? Because what you tend to see in these things is one man and multiple women. Who does that serve? So yeah, I think there's a lot in it that needs unpicking. I think it's one of these things in lots of ways that's been sold to us and we're supposed to just buy it. I think Earn Your Leisure did something about it one time I watched, and they were saying that they went over to Africa and they looked at the situations over there, and it's a totally different system. You know, you have to there's an exchange of money. You know, the man has to house the wives. The wives don't live together. It's a whole system that is created and exists. It's not just this kind of modern thing of where you go, I'm polyamorous and I've got a girlfriend over there and a boyfriend over there, and you know, it's like there's no order in it.
I saw that episode as well. Yeah, it's a very high level of being able to provide. It's like they brought up something of, you're not just even providing for that woman per se, it's her family that you have to make a trade-off or a bargain with. Like, you have to bring some type of livestock to the table to even get that woman from her family.
I think they also spoke to, in a lot of, especially over there, like sometimes it's not even about the sexual relationship. Sometimes it's about filling a specific role. Like, you manage the books. Like, I think it's something like that within the Nation of Islam. I'm not 100%. I'm not a part of the nation, never have been. But from my understanding, that is part of that system. Like, certain relationships are specifically to fulfill a certain role within the conglomerate. But at the end of the day, I'm with Caroline. Like, there's gonna be a level of jealousy. There's gonna be a level of somebody who's getting their feelings hurt. Especially, I don't want to speak for all women, but most women have a certain emotional boundary, and whether they say it or not, they feel a certain type of way if they're not getting, say, attention, or if they're not, if they're seeing something that they don't vibe with. And if you're with multiple partners, how do you balance that? It makes no sense to me. It really doesn't make any sense to me. Again, I'm not judging. Do you? But doing you is going to cause you a lot more problems, in my opinion, if you are doing you and you and you and you. Truthfully.
Yeah, definitely. Any more views on that? What about monogamy then? What is it about monogamy that you find appealing?
Like you said,
What
courage, the ability to grow with somebody. to learn somebody, to evolve with somebody, to know that that person is going to change and so are you, to have the courage to push through arguments, to push through disagreements, to come to healthy impasses, to raise children or whatever the case may be, whatever your relationship dynamic is. But to do that with one person takes a lot of grit and courage and focus and understanding and a lot of intelligence. I think a lot of people don't do that because they don't want to put forth that effort anymore. You ain't got to be married, but be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that people don't necessarily want to gravitate towards anymore. But that's what I find appealing and special about a monogamous relationship.
Thank you. Gabriel, you were going to say something. Thanks, Adriana.
I was about to ask what is a monogamous relationship, but then it kind of got answered. Like I've heard the word, but I've never really thought about what it meant. Just basically one on one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically my take on it too. It's really just, I mean, it's a different feeling when you get to learn somebody, like get to know them like the back of your hand. It's like I know them, they know me, they know my triggers, I know their triggers, I know how to calm them down, they know how to calm me down, they know how to hype me up. It's like there's a sense in that, and it's like I don't know, some things that just can't get taken away. Yeah.
Anyone else?
For me, it's just the security in it, right? I know that if something happens in this dynamic, it's me and you. It's not me, you, her, him. However, it's constructed in another type of relationship. It's that for me, the security of being with that one person and not having to guess about anything.
Yeah, I feel like I just always like really love like those old couples. They be like 70, 80, they be together looking so like you know what I'm saying? Like it's not even about sex at that point, it's about companionship and they still just have each other that they just trust on and love. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one, but also like you said, the security. I can't have no different baby daddy, but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like just knowing that the energy that is in my bed or in my home or that I'm building with is just that energy. Like that energy is not going out mixing with other energy and bringing baggage back and you know what I'm saying, causing a disruption because ultimately, even though I'm in this relationship, the relationship is an add-on. What I'm doing in my life and the peace and the joy and everything that I'm structuring in my life or whatever, like you're supposed to add on to it. I'm not looking for you to come in and now disrupt it in any way. And I do believe that once you start mixing energies, you start adding baggages from different energies. And you know what I'm saying? That right there, you could feel it. Even before you know a person is cheating or doing this and the third, you could feel the energies shifting and changing and things like that happening. You know what I'm saying? So I just want peace. I want peace and I want what I deserve. You know what I'm saying? And monogamy has that for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that piece too about energy. That's a lot of energy being given. It's like when you're one on one, it can be energy given or reciprocated. And if you don't get the energy, someone gives you energy, they don't have the energy, you give it to them. But now if you're dealing with multiple people, it's like if I ain't got energy, and you ain't got energy, and you want my energy, I ain't got nothing to give you. So it's like I'm playing a dead end game. Now I'm getting irritated. Now they feeling left out like I don't give them energy all the time. That's a lot of energy going around. I don't know.
You just stressed me out there, Gabriel, just with that that verbal diagram, the energy there, the energy. I'm like, whoa, not for 5 minutes am I living that reality. And I think it's courageous, especially if you've been hurt in the past. I know going forth into the next relationship requires courage for me and growth and faith and you invest all that in this one person and there's always the potential that they could walk off or you decide to walk off, you've had enough. So I think monogamy, there's a level of courage that some would argue doesn't exist in polygamy, because you've got these multiple places you can go no matter what. But with monogamy, if that person goes, now you're out there in the wind with all of what you've invested, you know.
Yeah, I think that actually goes to what I said. That's actually, you know, a good point. It's a insecurity thing to polygamy, whatever you call that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think I said it's an insecurity thing. You know, a fear thing. It's a fear. There's a good possibility that people who are in there are fearful of getting hurt, fearful, or they've been hurt before, and the point said, "I'll never love again," and but don't want to be alone. So this is a way for them to, yeah, maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's a fear, it's an insecurity thing, but still keep that away from me. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
it feels, doesn't it? For me, it feels intuitive. Like when you see them Egyptian statues and stuff, it feels one-on-one is intuitive. I just don't buy this whole story that it's something that, like, my understanding is it got introduced in Africa because it was about the men taking care of the women that didn't have partners because there wasn't enough men. It wasn't about sex and all of that. It was men having responsibility for those women that don't have a partner.
To the community. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how I see a parallel with today. Like I said earlier, some people are out of their mind crazy and wouldn't be able to be in a committed relationship. So you have people that can provide a level of security nowadays, and it's not just about being here, there, and everywhere. Dr. Umar brought up in a recent interview about having two queens, as he put it. And he said it in a way where there's order to it. It's not for me to have freak offs and go be with her when I don't want to be with you, but him just saying that he's so busy of a man that he would need more than one. So I can see in some instances where that can work. And in community building, bringing up a strong community, if you have able-bodied men that are willing to provide for more than one household. Now, it could get sticky, but I can see the benefits of it if it makes sense.
That's why I feel like ultimately it's up to those people, as long as it's an open book, it's an open page, right? Like in this example that you just gave, I could see somebody like Dr. Umar, right? Like, I respect now. No, we just get an image of him. Nobody knows what he's like behind doors, but and like, let's just take the idea of him as a leader. You know what I'm saying? Thought leader, somebody who is building and progressing. You know what I'm saying? Communities, one community at a time. Now, if he feels like he needs a woman in different areas, he's having. They know about it's open relationship. I'm hoping everybody knows that this is how he is. He's taking his information, he's taking his knowledge, he's imparting it, he's growing, he's developing this woman as a wife in this area, whatever. But are the women having other relationships too, or he's just having a relationship with them?
That's the part right there, right? Because men couldn't handle it. Men couldn't handle it. You know, I think back to even not to say that he couldn't handle it, but somebody else that was very busy, Martin Luther King. It's rumored that he had multiple partners.
Now that you say that, because now I thought I didn't.
Him being so busy.
For me, when I think about him, I feel distaste. But how come I don't feel? I think it's because I feel like there was secrecy with Dr. King.
Yeah.
I felt that's why I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not giving somebody the option to choose is a big problem for me, because you, especially from a man to a female, because you have diseases and you have things that you can transmit that you can't take away. A pill cannot fix. You understand what I'm saying? So like, to take away that, and then on top of that, like to mess with some people, somebody like Dr. Umar, somebody like Dr. Martin Luther King, the level of intelligence that they have, they could actually mess up the psyche of a woman, of an individual. They can mess up someone's self-esteem. They can break somebody. You know what I'm saying? With the level of stature that they are and their intelligence or what they have. So they're dangerous people to go about something like this and lying and doing this and that. And that's why I feel like I didn't like Dr. Martin Luther King. What I'm hearing about Dr. Mark wouldn't bother me if it was open and fair and honest and everybody was on the same playing field. Because if you feel like because you are over there and you're over here and you need different relationships because you're all over the place, when you're over here with this person needs somebody there. Why doesn't this person need somebody at that moment? So that's yeah.
Also, on the opposite side of that, if you do your research, like taking it back to Kemetic Egypt, it was one man, one woman, and that woman was a force, and that's the original man and woman, and that was the original dynamic. And at the end of the day, man, like even in those situations where, and again, those people do you, but somebody is always left hanging out to dry at a certain point by default. That's where I get lost in it, whether we're speaking about the sneaky version where you're cheating on someone or the open version where everybody's in agreement. Even though you're in agreement, you're also taking a back seat. That's the part that I don't agree with. Like in a relationship, you should always be in a partnership. And I feel like when you open that up to multiple partners, there's no way that that partnership can be equally yoked. There's just no way. Because somebody's gonna, what if I'm emotional today and I just need to be held, but you over here in daggone Kentucky with Shorty Girl because today is her day. I'm not feeling that. That doesn't make sense to me. like that that does not work for me. And
But
I'm
what
sure for the guys, the same thing. Like, I don't want my female over here with Tyrone today and you would be on Wednesday. That does not make sense. And I agree with what Gabe said. Like, there's a lot of insecurity with guys. Like, even though they say they're with it, I don't think they can handle that for real.
That's
I don't
that.
think so.
What happens if somebody like Brittany? So now, what if somebody falls? This is the question for you, Armand. So now, like in his situation, what happens if somebody falls in love with somebody, and now he leaves or she leaves, and they go their way? Does the person still feels like heartbroken? What happens? Is it right? Is it okay? Does like everybody else involved, like they just like, all right, he's out, she's out, like what, like. You still feel hurt. You still feel like, what is the point of it?
Correct.
Actually,
That's tough.
Correct.
I've
Correct.
never been in that type of a relationship, so I couldn't even begin to break it down because I've experienced one-on-one somebody or even myself getting into somebody else and having to end things, and there's heartbreak there, right? You put your time, your energy into being with somebody only for things not to work out. And then, you got to do the repair for yourself and getting back to self. So imagine that on a level of multiple partners, and some people are just left to pick up the pieces.
well, I guess actually now that I think about it, it probably does make it easier. You know what I'm saying? You got a bunch of different rocks to crawl under. You probably don't really think about that rock too much. That's actually
A lot of different rocks is crazy.
yeah.
I just think I thought when I thought about it, and this I know this is it's a really controversial conversation we're having, and there's going to be people that are really going to hate what we're saying. But for me, this is going to sound so arrogant, but it's just my truth. But you can have one me or 10 of them. That's
Fact.
how I see it. Like the 10 of them, there's something about the 10 of them to me. You know what I mean? Like, me one, I'm work, mate. Like, I see myself as high quality, high level, got a loads to offer. but I'm work. You have to invest in me. Like, I'm going to have to invest in whoever I get with who is of that caliber. Mm-hmm. So it's one of me or 10 of them. I don't see how somebody that is genuinely up there would want to be in a polygamous relationship. It don't make sense to me. You can't be up there and want to be one of 5. Personally, and I know, again, it's like controversial and I'm probably using the wrong term, but I'm a dominant female. I'm an alpha. I don't concede to other women. Like, you can't just come along and dominate me. So in a group, I've said it before, if I was in a polygamous relationship, I'd be horrible. I'd be bullying these girls, mate.
You'd be a madam.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and get out. I'll be evicting them and all sorts. I'll be going on terrible because don't force. I think that forcing into competition. And I always look at it like, what would I want for my daughters? And if they came to me with this, it's one of those things that I would want to veto as a parent, where I'm like, no, bring the whole crew of them around here, and I'll talk you all out of it. You know what I mean? Because this is raw stupidness. So, for me, it feels, and off the back of what you've all said as well, it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel natural to me. Like, if your sexuality, whatever that is, that feels natural to me. I understand transgender, that feels natural to me. There's a lot of stuff that's natural. Like woman and woman, that's natural. Man and man, that's natural. If you're born that way, that's who you are. And I know people born that way, so there's no question to me. But polygamy, for me, doesn't feel natural. It feels like a construct that's been created, really, in truth, for misogyny. You have harems and all that business back in the day. It's like, as a woman, I can't see any benefit for me in that whatsoever. Even if you're providing for me financially, I'd rather eat beans on toast than be one of 5.
Can I be a contrarian really quickly? I have, like, for those people that are probably gonna, verbally bite your head off if they watch this. What advice would you give to the woman or man who is comfortable in that type of relationship, who is comfortable sharing their partners, and who says, at the very least, and believes in their hearts that they are 100% confident in, say, having 3 or 4 partners? What advice would you give to them? Would you be able to give them advice at all?
No. Like I said, with my daughters, I just veto it. Like, stop that foolishness. Don't bring that around this. I might even ostracize them and put them out into the wind. No, I wouldn't. I'd never do that to my children. But I think it's a way. If you're in that zone, if that's your reality, I've got nothing for you. Go on, Cynthonia. You might have some wise words.
Okay.
No, but exactly that, because what I was gonna say is, a lot of times people try to force people to adapt their views and their beliefs on something, and it sometimes pushes them in the wrong direction or causes them to formulate an opinion or a feeling towards you that's unnecessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand for your daughters, it's a different level, it's a different playing field. You have different, rights, but to, like, speaking to the people, I think everybody has to experience, like, because we're speaking on all the things that may happen from it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody catching feelings and somebody else not having those same feelings. Somebody going off, venturing off and having a whole family and, lying, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so many different things. You may catch whatever you may catch, playing softball, whatever. All those things, they already know these things, but they already have it hardwired in their mind that this is for them. It works for them. They're having fun. Whatever the situation is, I feel like they're entitled to live their life and make their mistakes. And maybe they might not have no mistakes. They might have the perfect polygamous relationship, whatever. Might just grow out of it. let them. My advice is just be careful. Be careful and pay attention to the signs and pay attention to yourself. If you feel anything within yourself changing, go with that. You know what I'm saying? But pay attention to yourself and make sure that you feel in the vibes around you. Live your life, man. For real, that's what I got.
You got any advice, Emmanuel?
I don't know if it's so much advice as just recognizing throughout history, because Kemet was brought up, and then in biblical times it's talked about Solomon and him having many wives. There was a woman that was brought up in ancient times as well. I think she was from Kemet as well. She was, if maybe with the first woman pharaoh, and she had many husbands. So natural is what I'm thinking about, because you brought it up in the context of the other relationship dynamics, right? And I think it's just if it's natural to you and you're practicing in a way that's beneficial to the whole, that's what's good for you and serves your higher purpose of being here. But I couldn't really think of any advice.
It's perfect. That's perfect, because it is like, you know, it's a polarizing subject. And, you know, like for myself, you see the animation in me, just because it is something that I have a very clear view on for myself. And it's not that I've been in a situation before where somebody's wanted to do that, and I sort of agreed to it. Nothing went further, but the only reason I agreed to it in truth was that I was like, you're not enough. So I need to know I got a way out later on. If I've got enough, I don't need a way out later on. I don't need an open relationship or polyamory, or I'm only agreeing because I know you're 70%, which is why that knowledge of self is I'm good by myself, or it's 100%. It's the total package. That was good. I enjoyed that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
was a good one.
it was.